2 point. Durant hen over LeBron. Durant skal han skyde igen hen over LeBron. God aflevering over Iguodala. Træer, ny stor træer. Andre Iguodala. Men nu lader de den løbe ud, og nu slutter det. De vandt mesterskabet for 2 år siden. Sidste år vandt de 73 kampe, det bedste.
That's how the NBA Finals sound in Danish, and that was the voice of Thomas Bilde. Did I get it close?
You're good.
Pretty close. Pretty. Who's joining us here in Atlanta. Why are you here again?
Jamen, jeg er her for at se lidt på det hele og hilse på NBA.
Maybe in English?
We're doing this in English.
Well, we are, yeah.
No, I'm here to take a look. Take a look at the NBA, get a closer look, get some inspiration for us coming back. So it's a big pleasure for me and a joy. I'm obviously coming in here, seeing from some of the best in the business. But we listen and look at you guys every weekend when we're at home trying to broadcast to our Danish viewers. So it's interesting to get a look behind the scenes.
Well, it's very cool to have you here. Do you give folks here in the United States a sense, how popular is the NBA in Denmark in particular?
It's growing. It's and it's not even a small step. It's big steps. The NBA has been awesome over the last couple of years of sending out players, not just doing the global games, but sending out players. We've had Robert Horry, we've had Karl Anthony Towns, we've had Andre Drummond there, and I mean, it's not only Denmark. They get around all of Europe. They get around all over the world. So I think that's a great inspiration for some of the kids growing up and seeing that they can actually move on to being it. And for us in Denmark, we show a game every night. We live by the hashtag we don't sleep because of the time difference. Yeah. So it's usually 2 to 4 a.m. We kind of hate the West Coast games because it's even later.
Sometimes we do too.
Sometimes we do too.
But on Sunday, you know, we take pride. We love the early games. I know the players are not too fond of them, but for us, it's prime time, Danish TV Sunday night, and that's where we sit in our studio surroundings, kind of like this. And it's been growing, and we've been doing it for 10 years. So steadily, every year, it's getting better and better. And with the help of the NBA, I mean, it's going good and it's looking good.
Now, did you grow up playing the game of basketball, and then when did you start, you know, as far as your broadcasting career, as far as covering the NBA?
I started out as 10 years old playing, and got into radio, local radio, and at one point there was this opportunity to call a game, and it's just step by step by step, and then now here, 15 years later. Didn't know that was what I was going to do. I'm a school teacher by education, but this is what I ended up doing, and I love it. So basketball's been in my blood the whole time.
Thomas, what about the game globally? We've heard it for years around the NBA, how important it is to make sure we spread the gospel of basketball around the world. Do you see that now? All these years later, just how important it is?
I do. I mean, there's, 108 international players in the NBA and 64 of them coming from Europe. I mean, Denmark is one of the only countries with Norway probably and Luxembourg that doesn't have an NBA player right now. So both the NBA pushing out players, going out with the global games, that's one thing, but the country is getting a player through either the Euro camp, what it was, through the global, the camps that they have at the All-Star breaks. I mean, getting to see the talent and getting them in, and then for the countries to see that they have a player, that they actually have a guy from their country, you know, to get on the front page of the papers, get in the news. I mean, that's, I think, the most important part.
You have an interesting perspective that is different for most of us in the States here as well, that when draft time comes around and we hear the names of the European guys who are largely mysteries to us, you've seen these guys play. You saw Giannis Antetokounmpo play. You saw Kristaps Porzingis and some of the other great European players before they reached the NBA.
I mean, I believe that a lot of the NBA guys have seen him. I mean, I know there's scouts out there. I've talked to a lot of these scouts. I've been to a lot of the camps where some of these players play. But it's like with a lot of the young American guys. I mean, you can't necessarily see, you can see they jump high, or they run fast, or they got a good eye for passing. But with some of these, I almost call him, I mean, with him, obviously the freak, but you could put a starting line out of European players with a wingspan of 7 feet.
Right.
And I mean, and that's something that you can't teach. You always said you can't teach height.
Right.
Now it's length of arm or wingspan.
Right.
And when they can shoot at the same time, I mean, it's unreal. But to see a skinny Porzingis, a skinny Giannis, I mean, it looked even weirder. than it does now, where they get some muscle on him.
And Luka Doncic is the next big thing coming out of Europe. 18 years old, 6'7", he plays at Real Madrid right now. Tell us a little bit about him.
I mean, at age 13, he signed a 5-year contract with Real Madrid. He was not the youngest one to start in the Spanish league or in the Euro League. That was Ricky Rubio. We saw him earlier with the little nice hairdo.
And the beard.
But Doncic is the youngest one to start for Madrid. And obviously with him and Dragic doing their thing at the Euro, winning the gold this year, I mean, he's taken it to another level. Yes. He averaged 7.8 in the Euro League, and now he's up to above 20. All his stats are up except the assist rate. So, I mean, the knock on him is that he's not quick enough, and he shoots funky. I think we've seen a guy from LA get drafted pretty high.
I've heard that before.
doing that thing. So I think he's going to be in good shape. He's big, 6'7",
solid
he can pass, and he's got a good background.
And for those of you who haven't been following him, he's projected to be a top 5 conservatively pick in next year's draft. You mentioned Andre Drummond, Karl Anthony Towns, who were in Denmark last summer, I guess that was. You got to play pickup ball with Andre Drummond?
We played with Karl Anthony Towns. We played with Drummond. Robert Ory was a little bit boring. This is 2 years ago, but this is see John Wall looked at that one. And we got Drummond. And I can stand here and smile and say we had it all planned out. This was not planned out. We played a celebrity kind of game with bikers and PGA players and everybody, you know, who's something with the sport in Denmark and who likes basketball, but not good basketball players. And then they joined in, and they were such good sports. It was unbelievable.
Well, I can't wait for me, Matt, and Seiko. We get our invitation.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'll get the business.
Yeah, when are we
ready?
Let's go.
I want to come to Denver. Be a part
You're
of it.
more than welcome.
All right, on our way out, we want to hear a call. You speak 5 languages.
We'll try.
Let's go Danish.
Yeah, Danish.
That makes the most sense to us. We've got a couple of them here. We've got a Dennis Schroeder call.
German guy.
Yeah.
Dennis Schröder, der scorer 3 point fra toppen og gør det altså til 55-27. Han er i gang med virkelig at banke Sacramento Kings. Og så har vi ham, Air Latvia, Kristaps Porzingis, langt ude bag ved træerne. Og vi ser altså, hvordan han bruger sin længde til at score fra straffekastlinjen.
What he said.